Meek Mill is lashing out on Twitter after a leaked video of him with Diddy at his 27th birthday party went viral. The footage, originally obtained by the Daily Mail, shows Diddy and Meek Mill eating sushi off the body of a naked model. Later in the clip, Diddy and Meek Mill can allegedly be heard engaging in some highly questionable activities desperate to contain the damage. Meek Mill is reportedly scrambling to get the footage out of the public eye, even allegedly offering $100,000 to anyone who can identify the person responsible for the leak. Rumors are now swirling that Meek Mill and Diddy were allegedly involved in a secret relationship, with some pointing to their habit of showing up dressed in matching outfits as evidence. But with Diddy now behind bars, their alleged relationship is being exposed, leaving Meek Mill worried about the impact this revelation could have on his career.
He did not. It did not say Meek Mill name. Wait. Oh, hold up. Never mind. Wait, what the fuck? I forgot. Look, Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper 5. That's redacted. Look, 5. He's a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Yo, Meek, we were playing around with that Michael Rubin, but if you don't, you've been tweeting about everything on planet Earth. If you don't get a Twitter rant saying you about to get Lil Rod killed, you about to shoot up his block, blow his mama's house up, this nigga is saying that you and Diddy were fornicating. What the fuck? Meek!
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Meek Mill was first linked to Diddy when Lil Rod mentioned him in his lawsuit. The lawsuit claimed Diddy was sexually involved with a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, performed at the Super Bowl, and had a successful Vegas residency. This description matches Meek Mill. Things got worse for Meek when people close to Diddy came forward saying they saw Diddy and Meek doing questionable things. Pressure on Meek Mill keeps building as the investigation continues.
But going back to the lawsuits, one of those plaintiffs that has sued Combs was Rodney Little Rod Jones, a music producer who apparently worked with Combs on his latest album called Love. Jones says he lived with Combs for a year and witnessed what he claimed was not only debauchery, but also illegal activity. In his lawsuit, Jones names some very well-known celebrities like Cuba Gooding Jr., who he claims sexually assaulted him on a yacht that Combs had rented for a holiday cruise in 2022. Other celebrities' names are redacted from the suit. For example, the lawsuit reads, quote, rapper redacted on Mr. Combs' yacht consorting with underage girls, sex workers. Then in a footnote it says he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Now, based on that, online sleuths quickly deduced that that suit was likely talking about Meek Mill. He dated Nicki Minaj for a couple of years between 2015 and 2017, and he was her opening act on a world tour. Once people decided that the lawsuit was referring to Meek Mill, these rumors started to circulate about his possible involvement or participation in Combs' activity.
Diddy once took Meek Mill shopping, and they later showed up wearing matching outfits. According to 50 Cent, Diddy originally wanted to take him shopping, but 50 turned down the offer, questioning why a grown man would take another man shopping. After 50 Cent declined, Diddy supposedly took Meek Mill out instead, and that's when their alleged relationship began. Meek became a regular at almost every Diddy party. But now, with 36 lawsuits piling up against Diddy, Meek is desperately trying to distance himself from the situation and avoid getting dragged into the scandal.
Because I just say...
Nah, but you got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. This is really happening. I'm just saying to you. No, stop it, man. You set that up. Look, you set that up. He's in the same shirt.
What do you mean he's in the same shirt?
Obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. This is what I'm saying, bro. You go, nah, it was odd. Like, this is some of the things that people say. Like, girls, guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think's happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow, they found Kendrick and Wifey.
outside. What's up?
Yeah, y'all already know how we
Mill
playing out this motherfucker. This
Let's
real
go.
life.
Real life
Yeah,
shit.
nigga, no Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you
Talk
heard?
that shit, Meek. Yeah, Meek.
Meek Mill took to X, formerly Twitter, to respond to the allegations linking him to Diddy. He suggested that someone was pulling strings behind the scenes, claiming that people were trying to bring down black rappers. Meek announced his intention to get to the bottom of it, tweeting, "I want to hire an investigative team, $100,000 cash to find out every specific detail involving my name in Diddy's case. I also want them to look at who's powering the media involving me. Something's not right." Fans quickly responded to his tweet with one saying, "Bro, it's your antics. It's you. You're the one powering that narrative. Now cash at me my 100K. And you were seen in a pool with Diddy calling you daddy. How do you expect us to see that and not think something's up?"
Meek Mill himself has been vocal about his name being brought up alongside allegations of abuse, drug use, sex with underage girls. He has claimed online that his success in the industry, as well as his work to reform the criminal justice system, has made him a target. And Meek Mill is very active on X, formerly Twitter. He has voiced his thoughts about the lawsuit as well as the rumors. In September, he tweeted, quote, "From the streets of Philly to becoming a millionaire, to helping reform the system, to bridging a gap of billionaires, to interacting with the rap culture that results in success. It's a lot of people hating on me on the low. They don't play with guns, they do campaigns." And he also tweeted several times about the rumors surrounding his sexuality. For example, one tweet reads, "I have the right to say I ain't gay, and I'll trash anybody that play with my manhood, LOL." Then earlier this week, he put an offer on the table, a $100,000 reward for anyone who can figure out how he got named in Rodney Jones' lawsuit in the first place. He tweeted, "I want to hire an investigative team, 100K cash, to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name to Diddy case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek, anything to do with Buddy." And then in quotes, "something not right." And then he followed that up minutes later with, "The streets know what's up with me. That's not the case. We talking about business side, somebody powering these bad campaigns with Meek Mill. Again, I got 100K for a thorough investigation of what's powering and how exactly my name connect to this."
There are no real friends in this industry, and that's why Meek Mill isn't willing to stand by Diddy now. According to DJ Academics, most people thought Diddy's case would have blown over by now and never expected things to get this serious. Nobody believed someone as big as Diddy would actually end up behind bars, but as more evidence continues to surface against Diddy, rappers connected to him are growing increasingly worried about the fallout. They're now doing everything they can to distance themselves from the scandal.
Well, Meek Mill had a video recently. He was walking around someplace, and he said, "No Diddy."
No Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you heard?
That shit, Meek. Yeah, Meek.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you saw that?
No, I seen it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't really know Diddy your way out of that photo when you got the matching outfit with Puffy. You can't know Diddy your way out of that. But I guess it's a little disappointing is that it seemed like Meek Mill was an actual friend.
There's no friends in the industry, Vlad.
But it seemed like they were actually had a relationship.
It's no friends in the industry, Vlad. There ain't no friends in the industry. I think a lot of people, you see all the silence we hearing now? I think Ray J kind of said, even though Ray J's kind of going a little cuckoo recently. Love him. But here's there's a lot of people silent. And there's three reasons. One, they got some skeleton in their closet. They're like, let me not jump in because I don't want them to look at me. Two, some of them was at these parties and they may have freaked off a couple girls with Diddy.
Yeah.
And
Or
three,
guys.
Yeah, or guys, right? And the third version is literally them trying to figure out, like, I don't want to be against this guy if he beats it. So everybody's been watching it. So they're watching it and they'll be like, shit. We're like 23 lawsuits in. Yes.
More than that. That was over 120.
No,
I see what you're saying.
They haven't all filed yet. They haven't all filed.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're a bunch of lawsuits in, right? And I think now people will realize, man, f that friendship. It's time to save our own ass. That's the only part I like about with Meek Mill. Nobody ever accused Meek Mill of doing a crime. People accuse Meek Mill of being homosexual and doing some freak acts with Diddy. Let's be clear.
Joe Rogan has addressed the Meek Mill situation too. Here we go, guys.
Here we
All
go.
right. So you know how like
you know
you know how like well
You
you
know,
know
we all heard about this yesterday. He came in and he goes, P. Diddy definitely everybody and did this and raped everyone. And then we're like, well, how do you know? He's like, I read. Not really. It doesn't really mean anything. You're always reading somebody else's numbers.
So what is?
But that's what you can do in comedy. Is that is enough to checkmate most comedians?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I read and you go,
You're
he
not
does
wrong.
read. All right.
Yeah. Well, it's just a funny thing to say because you could also be like admitting the ridiculousness of it yourself while saying I read. You know, because it's kind of an admission. Like, I'm not there. I didn't go to the freak off.
Yeah, I
don't
want to
know
hear
what the
somebody goes, I went to one of these parties and man, P. Diddy was like, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go fuck Meek Mill in the butt. But like, that's never going to happen. No one comes out and says
So
that.
if you're looking at that, what makes you conclude that he definitely was doing that?
Because he basically the first time they ever met, he presented him with the Steele dossier, which had all of the like dirt.
That's the pee-pee stuff, right?
Yeah, all the pee-pee shit in it. Or I shouldn't say shit. There was no shit alleged, just piss.
Russian piss.
Yes, alleged Russian piss. Yes, that's the aspect
Is
Jay
that what
wants to make
collusion?
sure.
Is that what collusion means?
Something like that. And then
He plays so dirty. They play dirty like a movie.
it's pretty crazy.
Andrew Schultz spoke to Meek Mill about the Diddy situation and showed his support. He said the allegations and rumors are unfair and seem like an attempt to ruin Meek's reputation. Schultz advised Meek to focus on clearing his name and not let the negativity affect him.
I think Meek is gay. I do not think Meek is gay. But he is incredibly bad at proving he's straight. He is maybe the worst in history at doing that.
Meek Mill responded by saying, "The first time I laughed at being called gay, but don't mess with me in real life, I might swing. LOLs."
Why you be going at Meek Mill on social media then?
I love Meek. I always
No, you
tell
don't. You
Meek-
always talk about you love somebody.
I love Meek.
And be butchering them on.
When did I butcher him?
Man, you
I
know what
love
you said.
Meek. Meek, I love you. I'm the only one on social media saying he's not gay.
But you did say you have a hard time proving that you straight though.
I said he did a bad job of it,
yes.
which he laughed at. He laughed at the joke. He's like, this is the first time I laughed at somebody saying I'm funny.
You just like, so not as long as it's a name, you gonna go back and forth with him, huh?
Yeah, if it's somebody if somebody's using me for my name, I'm not gonna go back and forth.
Right.
But if it's big enough that
right,
sure, I'll do it.
Right.
Also, if there's a, but Meek did nothing to me, by the way. Like honestly, he's really innocent in all this, and I do support him. I do think that he gets an unfair shake. I think he gets trolled a lot, and I think he's probably like a good guy.
Right.
So I always say leave Meek alone, even though I do make some.
Big homie CC claims Meek Mill is struggling to prove he's straight because he's actually gay. According to CC, Meek Mill accidentally posted a dildo purchase from his Amazon account to his ex Twitter account because the accounts were linked. What's more interesting is that despite everything Meek Mill has been saying online, he hasn't directly denied the allegations. Big homie CC believes that's because Meek knows if he starts lying about Diddy, the feds might release tapes to expose him.
Meek Mill had his Amazon account connected to his Twitter. The man on there buying dildos and it's getting posted to his Twitter account. I just purchased this 10-inch dildo. So I really don't want to talk about Meek Mill. You feel me? I just don't think Meek Mill is a bright guy, period. I just feel like Meek Mill is the dude who will end up someplace trying to be with the who's who and be like, wait a second. I don't know what's going on. He one of them type of guys, bro.
I don't want to say his name. I'm still on the contract with him. Let me be careful here. Let me be careful here, man. Let me be careful, because that stuff about Diddy real, bro.
What do you think about the Meek Mill accusations?
Okay. Now, I used to bodyguard Rocky Fresh, who was signed to Rose.
Yep.
All right. Now, Meek said he wouldn't do a song with Rocky because Rocky wasn't street. Right. So, little things that take place, and people will expect certain things out of him. But now with some of this stuff's coming out, if you look at his body of work, it's been strange things in his history. So then, you go on his Twitter page, you click on his likes, bro. You see things that he's liking. That's questionable. Would you come up in here with a matching shirt with me?
Hell no.
Hell no. Ace, would you pop out with a matching shirt with me, bro? Styles, put that on something you would pop out with. No, boy, it's not going like that, bro. Would you let me call you daddy?
Hell no.
No, bro. I've been saying this for years. I say, man, these boys strange, bro. The things they into is strange. I've seen so much. I've seen a lot, bro. So like with him, look how he responded to the situation. Not one time did he come out and say these things are a lie. Did you see that?
Yep.
He didn't say that.
He didn't deny it.
No, he didn't deny nothing. Because if he deny it, what's finna come out? Footage.
You think Diddy has footage on Meek?
For sure. He got cameras through his whole crib.
Prosecutors have confirmed that tapes collected during the raid on Diddy's house will be played during the trial. No arguments from Meek or Diddy will matter once fans see them on tape together. 8 of these tapes have already been given to the FBI, and hundreds more are reportedly being sold on the dark web.
The trial starts and the jury sits. Will they be shown these tapes?
100%.
Will they have to watch it in court? Like during the
100% in court in front of a room of people. And so that's the other thing that's awful. They are going to be watching basically porn for hours on end in front of people. So in front of victim one, whoever it may be, there's going to be porn played in the federal courtroom.
And victim one would have been made aware of this.
Oh, 100%. She's probably being told right now, like, this is going to be played in open court. Your sex history, your sex life is going to be talked about in open court. All of this.
And presumably then she knows that and she's pushing forward because she hasn't withdrawn.
But don't forget this. It doesn't matter if she does or she doesn't. This isn't a civil case. This is the criminal case. So she could flat out tell the federal government, I don't want to participate. And they can say, we don't care. This is a crime. Crimes are against the United States, not against them. Keep calling her victim one, but don't forget, she's a witness to a crime. So it doesn't matter if she went to them in today and said, I'm not participating. Their response, we don't care. Get you on the